Man, look, it's the first shoot of 2018. We decided to bring you guys Eminem Revival. Let me talk about what I like. I like the fact that M's on his social political. I like Bad Husband, you know what I'm saying? Being introspective, understanding the fact. Well, no. Wait, hold on. See, you're looking at me. You're looking at me.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying I like the content. I don't necessarily like the song. I like the fact when.
I feel you, man. Look.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I know. I'm not even gonna be.
Don't worry about it. Look, I get what you're saying. It's the content.
The content.
Some of the content
on this, I was like, okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And that's it.
Musically, what the fuck is going on, dog?
It's amazing how we went from, I think, reviewing Marshall Mathers LP
a few
months ago, and like, you listen to this and just be like,
man, look, bitch, he may stand.
Bitch, he may stand.
I understand Eminem's like up there in hip hop culture, pop culture, all of that.
Yeah.
But does he only have yes men?
Yes, has to.
He has to.
Because I'm listening to this, I'm like, dude, who is okay in this shit? And like, as far as production, how you have Dre as your disposal and your production is just like so subpar.
I don't think Dre wanted to do it.
You think that's what that is?
I mean, why wouldn't Dre do it? Unless M didn't want him to do it. But why would he go and tap Rick Rubin for a whole bunch of bullshit rap rock beats instead of going and being like, Dre, let's work, man. We always make gems. Let's work.
You know why he tapped Rick Rubin?
Because the last song on the last album that Rick Rubin did, it actually worked.
And, you know, this is the transition album. This is him transitioning to whatever this second part of his career is going to be. So,
I think he's saying this is his last album.
He says it's his last
and
album.
if this is his last album, this is a horrible finish.
Yes,
because at this point, in my opinion, he's like ruining his legacy.
Absolutely.
Making albums like this.
Yeah.
But how many times they say it's their last album?
If he says this is by far his last one, I'm gonna take him to his word until we get another.
I think he says that now, but I don't know if his pride would allow him to take all the negative that's gonna probably come from this album.
I don't think he has a choice.
What you mean?
He has to come back with
I don't know that he can do better than this. I think this is just him.
I think he can though, because I think it's like I think it's like that, and that's why Ken said what he said or whatever about it being like a transition thing.
I think
Transition to what?
Exactly.
To the I guess
like
more positive,
mature,
I guess, like more mature. What I heard on this album was positive, more mature.
Because he made Baz Meets Evil with Royce, and he was at that point where he had made Recovery, and he made Baz Meets Evil.
Yeah, Recovery was already the transition.
Yeah,
the transition is done.
And he went and made Bad Meets Evil. So,
but Recovery wasn't this though.
Recovery was a very positive album. It was very like apologetic and all this bullshit.
Yep.
Like this album, it's musically terrible.
It is.
Yeah.
It's lyrically terrible.
It is.
Direction-wise,
production, everything is just bad.
corny lines, like
and with corny lines,
and don't do this, but like
right? How you drop down so much in your career as you just like you had great peaks and then
I think it was an unsuccessful go at something different.
Well, I think he's probably at a crossroads, right? Because
how long of a crossroads? Like how many crossroads?
You look at what Recovery was the one that sold a lot of albums.
All his albums,
I know, but Recovery after Relapse was the one that really did well for him, like exceptionally well. Right. So I can see him, if this is indeed his last album, wanting to double down on that. He's gonna make so much fucking money off of licensing these songs.
No, of course. And I knew somebody was gonna talk about the business aspect of it and him, you know, still doing numbers and all that. Is M not a student of the game?
I don't know if it's necessarily about him trying to do numbers. I think
he's gonna do numbers because of who he is.
Right, I understand that, but I think the point, I think where I'm getting at is I think he's trying to appease two different markets. Like I think Framed, I think was one.
Framed was okay. Offended was okay.
Offended, I think was another one that he put on here.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes, which is a toss back to like his older fans.
But you know what? Framed sounded like Relapse. And nobody but like 10% of the public like Relapse.
Yep.
So I don't think there's anything appeasing to his older fans on this. No. Nothing.
And that's my problem. And that's the reason why I said, isn't he a student of the game, right? Like this man, he studies. He studies. He knows what's fucking hot in hip hop. And I don't
Well, he stole some of the.
Yeah, he did
flows
try
and
to
stuff
go
from
with
us.
some of those
he-
flows.
Yeah, he's rapping like Nigo.
yes. He fucking did.
That was very disappointing.
But what I'm talking
to
about,
hear that.
but what I'm talking about is hip hop heads, right? Like hip hop heads. We will listen to Migos, but that's not what we want, right? Like we can be entertained by that. We want M. And M being a student of the game, M knowing what hip hop beats are. What the fuck is this?
It's appealing to somebody.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out here that are liking this.
But is it appealing to hip hop culture? Is it permeating hip hop culture? I don't think it is, because you know how I know when shit is hot. People hit me up. Hey bro, did you hear that? Hey bro, did you see that single? Did you see this video?
You're not the demo though.
What is that?
You know what the demo is.
Yeah, come on, man. You know
Let's-
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not hip hop.
But that.
It's hip hop. It's just
still
not your
hip-hop
hip hop.
Yeah, I understand. There's a group of people like us. There's a group of people that are similar to us out there. Like
Fandom
what is
dies
this?
down after a week.
No, it doesn't. Not for M.
No,
Okay,
no,
fine.
it doesn't.
I'm
I was
this-
listening to
okay.
this when I put this on, and I went through the first song, of course, Walk on Water. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, so I didn't hear any of the singles. Believe, Chloroseptic. Like, dude, I think I laughed, literally
No, I did
laughed
too.
out loud.
Me too.
On the first 4 or 5 tracks.
Y'all
I
remember
couldn't
me?
believe what
I
was
never
hearing.
do this shit. I never give my thoughts on no album or anything like that. This was the first time that I ever would like text y'all like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, you
Like I've never done that. I've never. It's for as long as we've been reviewing shit.
Yeah.
I've never
like
done
that.
that.
Not every single Eminem fan is a hip hop head.
Right, I know.
Like, think about this.
These beats
Most of his
crossover big
fans,
time.
most of Eminem's fans don't even like rap. Like, how many people have you met? How many white folks have you met? They're like, man, I don't even like rap, but I like Eminem.
I feel you.
So why would they care if Eminem's not rapping that well on this? Because they like that kind of shit.
Of course they don't. But at least personally for Eminem, how does he judge an album? Like,
By
do
how much money he's getting?
You think
Now,
so?
At this point,
you think that's what it is?
I don't know that he can rap like he used to.
It's just it's the accolades and it's the money, because all I know is how
Like
does he
still
let
have
this shit go?
messaging in it.
That's
He did here and there, but still though.
executed.
Exactly, the
No.
project was not executed, and my thing is, even at an advanced age in hip hop or just in music in general, you can still make good music. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, you can still make music that appeals to like a multitude of people.
You gotta think about this. This is bad for Eminem, but that's it. To your average rap fan, this isn't a bad album.
Well, let's get back to how we
but-
personally
but-
feel about it. Like we keep talking about how other people are saying. Like, well, how do y'all feel about it?
He already said how he already said what he
How you feel then?
I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible, and I think it's the biggest disappointment of 2017. This come on 2017, right? Yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah, this is up there with fucking Last Jedi. The end of my year was horrible. My December was some bullshit. A lot of people let me down in December. This album, to me, what this sounds like a really whack rapper that's like in his mid 50s that like trying to do an Eminem impression with a whole bunch of dad jokes. That's what it sounds like. Like, this is dad joke rap. Who the fuck? I don't want to hear this kind of shit. Like, every time Eminem said one of these lines, you got buns, I got ass burgers. Every time I'm picturing some old white dude with his pants pulled up real high. It's like, ha ha, got him. Hey boy, hey, I got one for you. I got one for you. You got buns, I got ass burgers. Ha ha ha. Jump in the water. I bet you get your, what do you say? I bet you get your, oh fuck. I bet you get your something from your persona. Like, are you serious?
This is Eminem.
Like, this is Eminem, one of the best rappers of all time. I don't give a fuck what you say, what you nobody says. Eminem is one of the best rappers of all
Didn't
time.
this album sound like it should have been a collaborative effort with Macklemore?
It wasn't that corny. It wasn't that corny. It had bad lines. I didn't think it mackled.
but it reminded me. Very Macklemore-ish.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
very Macklemore.
That was very disappointing to me.
I can't do that to him.
I can't.
I respect him too much.
That's
I can't put him in the Macklemore
Him
bucket.
into himself.
This is bad.
Nah, y'all not gonna do this.
Yeah, man.
Y'all not gonna do this. Y'all not gonna back on Eminem.
Sorry.
You're fucking right, though. That's why you right.
like that. It's like,
Fuck.
Y'all and then they should have went on a world tour
Yep.
together. That's what they should have did.
They probably
Or
still
septic.
can.
They probably
They could go on.
They could have.
Chloroseptic could have been good. The hook on most of the this shit was terrible.
Terrible, like,
the
oh my
hooks
God.
on damn near all these songs was bad. Like, but even Framed, the one song I was like, damn, this shit is tight because it sounds like old school Relapse, which I still love Relapse. And he's talking about killing people, leaving fucking body parts in front of Steve Avery's trailer and shit. I was like, oh, this shit is tight as fuck. And that hook. Why? Why?
I like the Untouchable.
No, the fuck you did. Are you
like
shitting
the
me?
sound of Untouchable.
White boy.
Oh yeah.
You're a rock star.
When that shit came out,
White boy. And a doctor. You like that shit?
I do like the content of it.
It's so basic.
It is basic. Sometimes his audience need the basic shit.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and then I think the beat changed on it, so it got a little bit better.
It got darker.
No, when the beat changed, it was.
Yeah, when the beat
got
changed.
darker.
When it got from the rock shit. When it got from the rock shit.
Y'all are giving so many.
No, wait.
I'm not
You didn't like it when the beat changed?
Oh.
Huh?
You didn't like the beat change?
No. I like when the song changed. Well, actually, no, I didn't. What was after that? Oh, River was bad too.
Is that the song where he started talking about like the flag and like Kaepernick and all that? Is that the song where the beat changed?
He talked about Kaepernick a bunch on this album.
I like that. I'm with you on that. I like when the beat changed. It was okay.
Yeah, the beat change made it better.
Oh, because the first beat was so terrible that it
No. I get you.
That's why you like it. Okay, now I get it.
No. Yeah.
Now I get it.
That's
Now I get it. We're gonna take it back to old school from shit to a booger. Right. Now I get it. Now I get it.
Right.
Actually, there was one dope line where he said something about getting a Derringer. You better be Captain America like Steve Rogers.
yeah.
Like,
I
that
remember
line
that
was
line.
actually dope.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wasn't dope. That line was okay.
Yeah.
But that's because it was surrounded by
so much
Yeah.
bad.
lines.
I can't-
You know,
like-
I want to know what Royce has to say. Like, honest.
Yeah,
He's
said
been
anything
quiet.
yet?
He hasn't said anything.
He's been quiet. He's been quiet. I really do.
think-
Yeah, because you can't really say anything. Like
I mean, I want to know what he thinks though.
Yeah, you can say something, but I think
what you like where though?
That's
'Cause
his ass.
you can say you can be diplomatic. You can be
Okay,
like,
that's
bro, you
cool.
let us down, man. Like, what's happening right now? Like,
Yeah.
like what Joe Budden said. I agreed with most of it. I didn't agree with the delivery because it's Joe Budden. But what he was saying was on point. Like, this sounds like this was not something that he really wanted to do. Like this, I don't know. It just doesn't. I just can't see M sitting down and writing this album being like,
And it being like, this is
Rick
it.
Rubin
Like, this is
influence.
it.
That could be the influence of Rick Rubin.
to make a poorly produced lyrical
kind
album.
of a pop, white sounding type of hip hop album as your last.
Then get Dre on the phone. Dre should have walked in with his swole ass and be like, Rick, you need to go sit down
He's
somewhere.
gonna make
Yes.
another one.
Yes.
Huh?
This is not going to be his last album.
He said, I think
he's going to do another.
I don't think he needs to do another
I
one.
think maybe you said it earlier. I
He
think
messed
this
up
is
his
going to
legacy
be.
at his point though. If he keep this up.
But I don't think he would do another album like this.
No, he's not going to do another album like this.
But what were you going to say?
Oh wait, you know what? Never mind. I think Relapse to Recovery was different though. I was just thinking about what happened with Relapse and Recovery. How he made Recovery because of the backlash against Relapse. So I was saying that if the backlash is as bad against this one as it was in the past,
Yeah, because he turned around and made that immediately, right?
Maybe he'll go back to the
Okay,
drawing
but no, but the thing is,
But-
with Relapse, I still say the rapping wasn't bad. I think people had a bigger issue with the fact that he was doing this Jamaican accent.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why he was able to come back and like, okay, I'm gonna remove the Jamaican accent and I'm gonna start rapping like I usually do. I'm gonna, of course, add some pop sensibilities to it and make an album. Cool. We don't want to admit it, but M has been declining. He
Yeah.
since Relapse.
Since Relapse.
There you go. There you
Tiger
go.
Woods, man.
Yep.
Because like it's funny because when I listened to this, I even went back and listened to Encore and I'm like, damn, this album is so bad. Encore don't even sound that horrible because at least it feels like
It felt like
probably
it.
was bad at the time, but it felt
Yep.
like an Eminem album.
This is probably his
shit
worst album.
Is horrible. Like I don't have no Eminem feel on this album at all.
Does this ruin
So-
his legacy?
Yes. Yes.
Ruin?
Like ruin, but it hurts it.
Oh, no, it hurts.
Eminem. Okay, you're
But
right.
he's still
you're
gonna
right.
be, he's still gonna be considered like a top
Yeah,
lyricist.
yeah,
Like,
of
like,
course.
But
Yeah.
like this is.
But see, like ruin to me means like we have to put that into question. This doesn't do that. But it hurts.
It puts into question like what's really going on.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was definitely done by someone else, or I'm not in M's head. I don't understand, and I'm not gonna keep trying to understand. All I'm gonna say is this is a bad album,
yep.
and I'll never listen to it again.
I personally don't think he's falling off. I think if something came along that inspired him to rap different on different beats, I think he would rise to the occasion.
If Donald Trump fucking up the United States cannot inspire you to write good raps, then Eminem should not be considered one of the greatest.
That may not
What
be.
else-
That might
what
not
else
be the
can
same
inspire
inspiration
him
for
then?
other people. I'm just saying that I think this was just a moment. A moment.
He's
a bad
had too
moment.
many moments, bro.
I think this is a
isn't
bad
a bad
moment.
moment. This is like a stroke.
I think it goes back to I think two things. It goes back to what Ralph was saying. Eminem is a student of the game. He can put out a fire ass hip hop album if he wants to,
Right.
if it's still in him. But kind of to what we're saying is that he's at a certain place right now where I don't think that's in him to do.
So that's what you're saying. Not necessarily he doesn't have the capability. I thought y'all were saying he doesn't have the capability.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what Myke was saying.
That's what I said. I think that era of M putting together crazy ass multiples and or not multiples, multis and syllablatics, blah blah blahs.
We're not gonna get
It's
that now.
over.
We're not gonna get
I think that's over.
Maybe not at the same level.
Not that.
But you don't lose it all.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't lose it all. So to
There
me,
were still glimpses though.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
exactly.
There were glimpses. And
shit. Like,
Yeah.
barely though. Barely.
hold on, let me try to find.
But it was still there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
like I said, Chloroseptic
But it didn't
had moments.
smack you in the face.
But I'll still say Framed was really dope.
I give you that. I give you that.
There was a song where
Well, okay, hold on. Go back. I'm sorry.
No,
Go back to Offended real quick. If granted, most of the shit that he said in the song wasn't really offensive, which goes back to what I was saying, that it's just like a dude making dad jokes. But if you look at that song, that's classic M. Like M is rhyming kind of like he used to, but it's the old school Eminem humor, like the fucking an interracial blow up doll that looks like Rachel Dolezal, like that kind of shit. That's classic M. But the problem is we only got like 2 glimpses out of fucking
20
damn near 20 songs.
That's the problem.
So that's why I go back to, it looks like if you put those songs next to each other, it sounds like those songs were written by somebody else. Like the 2 songs that are good don't sound anything like any of this other shit. Like, I think that Eminem has just flat out lost it. He put a song on here, but the whole fucking song is Pink damn near.
Yep.
And then he just comes in and raps at the end. What is the point of that?
Like 8 bars and that was
Who's
it.
looking for a Pink song in 2018?
Right.
Who is? I'm not shitting on Pink.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I don't think that she's a name that's hot. So what I'm saying is, it seems like he's not just making bad decisions by himself. He has people around him that are making bad decisions.
Rick Rubin.
But I guess, like,
It
why would you
can't
make
just be
that
Rick
many
Rubin.
songs? If you don't have that many songs in you, why would you make that many songs?
Because I don't think Eminem thinks this is bad.
Do you think he knows he took a risk?
Yes, because he's talking about things, and he's talking about things at length that he hasn't really delved into before.
And from a different perspective, because Young M used to be cynical. It was like,
Right, this M is serious.
This M is serious. This, like you said, this is the dad M, and I get it. And you can have a different perspective, and your viewpoint can change as you get older. That's to be expected with anybody, right?
Shouldn't
Exactly, and that's where it hurts me. That's where it hurts me because the only person that I could compare him to at this phase in his career is Jay, right? And to me, it's like when I hear Jay, his skills didn't diminish, his perspective changed.
But I think the seriousness is the change, the noticeable change, and why this album sounds the way it does. Because he is in a different place in his life. I think he's at a moment in his life where he's looking back on everything, and there's a sense of regret.
But that's fine.
So he regretted rapping good?
Yeah,
before?
and like Myke continues to say, it's not the content.
Right.
The content's not the problem.
But I think
way
it's
it's
right.
executed,
But
man.
and I understand that. But I think the content to him probably required a different sound.
Nah, bruh. Dog, you making real excuses now. Look, I'm gonna hit you with this one. I don't remember what song it was, but there's one song where he says some shit like, fall off, that day'll never come. Fuck you, bitch, I'm better than I ever was. So he still thinks that he's spitting.
I'm with you, and I think the problem
think he
is
does.
he don't have no checks and balances.
not-
I think
he does.
everybody's like, oh yeah, M, that's
Especially at
dope.
this point.
If anything, M would ask for feedback. but nobody's going to just give M feedback like that.
No.
And you know what? And there's a story to support that as well. Just Blaze and M were in the studio, and Just Blaze says, I'm very honest, open, direct. Like I just give my feedback, but nobody told me that M doesn't work that way. And I did it, and then M looked at me, and he had to like leave the room, and then and come back and had to work it out. But
Was that for this album?
no, not for this album. No. Just past, like way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man,
I can see that.
I think that those top people in the game, like you don't say nothing. You let them do what they do.
Y'all haters. Come on, dog.
Yeah, I'm with B. Not even like part of
Y'all hate.
not even part of
Wait,
a song.
no. B, you gonna tell me Frame wasn't dope?
Frame was cool.
Then you have a favorite track.
Not favorite. That's not a favorite.
So
Give him a little bit of top B.
Frame and Offended, okay?
Thank you.
Better.
Get a man something.
Frame and Offended.
You gotta give me one, man. God damn, it's Eminem.
You didn't like a single song. You didn't like Frame either.
Frame and Offended are the two best tracks on this, but I don't have a favorite.
Oh, got you.
On this album, Revival, I liked Chloroseptic, Untouchable, Framed, and Offended.
I will say Framed and Offended. That's all I can do. The rest of this was unfucking listenable.
It was, man. It was a challenge getting through this album.
It was.
If this is how you gonna go out, I don't know how you'd be comfortable with that personally, right? Because if this is your craft, this is your art, this is what you put your time. And I know you're a student in the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how you're okay with this. This is like taking a game winner and you're not gonna come back next year and you airball it bad in a bad game. Like you have to redeem yourself somewhat.
Eminem, if you're watching, I think we said the content definitely wasn't a problem on here. Appreciated the stories you had to tell, the topics you had to talk about. The production didn't quite match up with that or match up at all. And I think that's where there's a bit of a disconnect between what you wanted to write about and encompassing the sound to back that. This kind of reminds me of like when rappers get on the tail end of their career, and I think we even had a video on that, where when do you think it's time for when do you stop following your rapper, when do you let them go? And there was a point in time when Cube had that, and he just didn't make the same type of music that I liked from his earlier discography. And I think this is where we are. But you're in a different place. You want to put out different type of music, and you're entitled to do that. So for me, I don't like this album, but if it's indeed your last, I hate it went out like this.
Em, if you're watching,
Detroit.
Seeing your career, just being from this underground lyricist that everyone feared you back in the days, to just now seeing how your career has played out, at least as we've been saying, the second half of your career and the albums you're making. We were just talking about you on the Marshall Mathers LP, how you were still able to craft songs and still have these crazy ass multi-lyrics, syllables, rhyme schemes and everything that you've been used to doing, and you've shown that even in some of your ciphers in your second half of your career. When you do these the Shady ciphers, the BET ciphers, you still showing that you can do that. But you crafting these type of albums, man, it's just, for me, it's just really disappointing. It's kind of sad in a sense, just because coming up in Detroit, it's just like, damn, you was that dude that really put Detroit on the map.
It's so cold in the D, huh, B?
Cold in the D. Man. Cold in the D, man. It's really cold in the D when you drop an album like this. And I'm very disappointed in this album. I barely got some good songs out of this from you. So, yeah, man, if this is your last album, this is a bad way to go out.
Bruh, you let me down, dog. I don't even know what to say. I feel like I have been a hanger-on, a clinger, that boogie that just won't come off that fucking nose hair. I've been that guy that's just been like, no, Eminem is still one of the best, and y'all need to stop talking all this shit. I don't know what happened here. I'm not gonna say anything that's even remotely definitive until you come out and say, but as a longtime Eminem fan, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this album wasn't horrendous. It's really bad. I don't know what you're going for. I don't know what your purpose was. If you're happy with this album, that's great, man. I hope you continue to be happy. But just understand and don't get all ticked off if you hear that a lot of your core fans are not happy whatsoever with the product that you gave. If this is your last album, I agree with B that I think it's a really bad way to go out. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, man. I'm really disappointed.